Chartemis Prime, Chartemis Prime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits, Startemis, subscribe,
I dig this figure a lot. I mean, come on.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Chartemis Prime here, doing another Marvel Select review on the long-awaited Marvel Select Rhino. And you know you're watching Chartemis Prime. You know I gotta get him in that charging pose. Really, really cool figure. I like this figure a lot. The articulation actually isn't the greatest in my opinion, but certainly wouldn't say it's not bad, you know what I mean? So, or I wouldn't call it bad is what I'm trying to say. I think the paint sculpt of this guy is fantastic. I only have one real gripe with the paint sculpt on this. What is in his teeth, man? That is nasty. That's some wicked nasty yellow shit going on in his teeth there. In between the teeth, oh my god, that is just gross as hell. I don't know what the deal with that is. I mean, like I said, that's my only real complaint. Luckily today when I picked this up at my comic book store, I just want to give a little 360 right here. You can see a mold seam right there, but actually kind of blends in well with the horns. Pretty cool, huh? Fingers kind of getting in the way, but I think it's badass. I got to shift through a bunch of them, or sift through a bunch of them and everything, and it just looks really weird. I don't know what the hell that is, but other than that, I think it's great. You can see some pink right there in his mouth, so that's a pretty natural color. Overall, I do like the flesh tone. His eyes are looking straight on. He's not cockeyed, so when you have him facing forward, it looks just fine. It's just as soon as you get him kind of like looking this way, sometimes it kind of looks like he's cockeyed or something else, I don't know. But dude, the sculpt and paint applications on this Rhino are fantastic. I mean, look at those horns, man. That is hella sick. So realistic looking, and it's all sculpted in there. Really nice, and it's pointy too. It's pretty sharp. So Marvel Select's known for making the really sharp, pointy things, and yeah, they're delivering there. Very cool. I like this whole head sculpt. I like the wrinkles going on right here. I mean, the whole figure has just a great amount of sculpt in it, and the paint wash that they have going on here, or I think this might be dry brushing. I really like how the figure has all these cracks and creases going on in it. At the same time, it does have the muscle definition. It does have the Rhino flappy flaps, so it really does look realistic. Especially you can see under his boobies right there, and then you can see on his shoulders, like there. Even sculpted his thumbnail. Dig that. I think this thing is very, very cool. And then, yeah, those Rhino toes. And look at that paint detail on those Rhino toes, man. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really dig it. Then here's the other one. Bam! Got scratches and all kinds of stuff. Looks very realistic. I'm really digging this figure a lot. Just really like how the cracks and sculpted in there, and all the wrinkles. See like the love handle section right there. Very cool figure. And then again with those neck wrinkles over there. Just really, really digging it. So this is one of those things that's really hard to explain, through a video, but it's really cool to hold in hand. I mean, it's one of those figures that's like, this is a cool figure to have. I think a lot of people were complaining early on that he was going to be too small, and I will get into some size comparisons. Actually, no, I will get into a ton of size comparisons for you guys, but I think he's a very good sized figure. I definitely really like it a lot. Now, the downside again, this is a Marvel Select figure, and this does go for about 22 bucks. The articulation just isn't the best, and Marvel Select has given us some figures with incredible articulation, but this is just not incredible. But not enough to say, it's not really lacking though. I'm not going to say it's lacking. Now he does have this really weird neck joint, which works for me. It's not a problem. It's just very unique. I haven't seen it before, or I think I've seen it before, but I'm just not used to seeing it. So he rotates just down here. He doesn't have his own head joint. It just rotates at the neck right here. So you can turn it side to side like this. You could also tilt it side to side like that too. So that's pretty cool. And you can move it up and down. If you move it up enough though, you will get a little bit of a gap right there. And I wish his head could move up more, but it will not. And if you could see like the Marvel Legends Rhino, his head looks up, quite a bit. That's the Marvel Legends Fearsome Foes pack Rhino, and that one, you know, does look up quite a bit. And again, I mean, this is a very cool figure. I still love this figure, which I had just recently broken, by the way, and he has these twisty ties because I took him down from my display. But you can see the lack of detail in these horns compared to these, you know what I mean? It's just a completely different figure, it really is. He has shoulders that move outward, only that much, you can only lift them up that high, and they move forward as well. No bicep swivel, a little bit of a bummer, but not too bad. He has a single jointed elbow that goes that far, and it can rotate side to side. And he has a fist joint that rotates. It's on a swivel. He has a diaphragm joint that can move side to side like that. And it ab crunches just a little bit, not so much. It goes back a little bit too. And you could rotate it side to side like this as well, of course. And he has these really weird thigh joints, which I noticed in the pictures that, you know, he doesn't have a cut over here at the thigh, which I really wish he had. But again, you know what? If I can get a Rhino figure in a charging pose, then I'm happy, really. That's like the only pose that I feel like he really must be able to get into, and this one can do it. So I'm not really complaining here. It is a Marvel Select. So this is weird though. It moves out like this and can move around, so it can be rotated, and it's pretty limited. So it's not a great range of motion. I mean, decent like that. But anyway, he has this knee that barely bends down here, and it rotates side to side. He has ankles that move down. You can move them up. And he does have, this is like the saving grace for the articulation, is the ankle pivot. This new technology where it rotates right here. I love this. So without the ankle pivot, we wouldn't be able to get that charging pose. And it's not a very hard thing to do. It's really not hard to get him into the charging pose. Like, I got him on the first try right when I opened him. I was like, oh, bam, there he goes. Kind of a tricky thing, you know what I mean? I was kind of scared it wouldn't work out, especially because he's such a hefty figure. He does have a lot of weight to him. And did I mention the peg holes at the bottom of the feet? The sculpt doesn't really continue at the bottom here at all. It's just a very flat gray. I'm not really sad about it or anything. So, yeah, like I said, this guy doesn't seem short to me. He's about a 9-inch figure. Rhino party! Yeah! So, I don't know. I mean, look, he is taller than the Marvel Legends Rhino. I think I still gotta say that this is my favorite Rhino figure of all time, the Marvel Legends one. I mean, it has individual finger articulation and toe articulation, and the paint sculpt of this guy isn't bad. I need to do a re-review for him eventually, but this is, I mean, just seeing him in the center like this, I mean, it's very impressive. I really like it. And here he is compared to the McFarlane Spidey and the Marvel Select Spider-Man. Whether you think he fits in with Marvel Legends or not, it's up to you, and it's how you display it, really. I think it can be done. It's kind of a stretch. I mean, he does kind of look like he's too much of a monster compared to this Spider-Man right here. This does look pretty good over here. I honestly think, though, he does fit best with the Amazing Spider-Man Rhino. I think that is actually oh, and there he goes. But yeah, I think this looks actually perfect with this guy. And yeah, I just got the variant version right here. I'm really happy about this. And for good measure, here he is compared to another couple heavy hitters. You have the Unleash Hulk over here, which is also the same size as the first Hulk that was released from Marvel Select. And Rhino's actually taller than the Juggernaut over here. Definitely not as bulky as Juggernaut, if you want to, get, a girth comparison going on. But, I really think that Juggernaut should be, just overall bigger than the Rhino. And then just to see him next to Colossus, I'm doing all kinds of comparisons here. I'm going crazy with the comparisons, but I think that works out pretty well. I really like the size of this guy. I think this is a very cool, I'm knocking over figures. I think this is a really cool purchase. I'm happy with it. I really like it a lot. I totally recommend it. Very badass, especially if you don't have Fearsome Foes box set Rhino. This figure is hard to get a hold of. So, you know what I mean? This is the size difference right here, just again to show you. So if you really need a Rhino figure, you will not be disappointed owning this guy. Alright, that's my review, guys. I hope you dig it, and I will catch you later. Peace.
Shit. That hurt me physically. Ready?